Willow bark is aspirin.
No.
Willow bark tea is probably a really good painkiller. It's probably good
And
for your
again,
drink,
I'm glad you
right?
got that. I'm
So,
glad you just brought that up, man. The last little bullet in my thing down here too is that these people were not pulling out clinical herbalists for making painkillers and mixing onions
no,
to
this
kill
was
them.
a
This didn't
this was
happen.
a literal this was a literal witch hunt in the proverbial sense,
Yeah,
like the way that we mean it now.
yeah, a witch hunt, and
They were going after people for old grudges.
yeah, and for that's actually really good. And 200 women did not get burned at the stake. It's a lie. It never happened.
Didn't
It's not a
happen.
massacre, right?
Didn't happen.
So,
They
but
they it was literally like a turf war between
yeah.
two families.
And so here we go. And so Jay, that's a great point. I didn't connect that dot. But here's the term. I wonder if this is where the term witch hunt actually came from, right?
It is.
So here's two names. Here's now that's what they'll tell you happened. Now me and Jay are going to tell you what really
Really
happened,
happened.
right? And the guy's name that died for his family, his name was, I got it right here. His name was Giles Corey. He was pressed to death. And the
Okay.
only reason why
Yeah.
he didn't confess is because he would have lost the rights to his land and his wife and children would have been homeless. But if he died via execution, they got to keep it. So, real American hero. I mean that, like real American hero right there. That's the way to
Truly,
go.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
went down swinging for his family.
Yeah.
That's
So, forget all that crap you heard. And if you believe in that stuff, then come see my next episode when I tell you why Friday the 13th is really considered bad luck, because that's when the Roman Catholic Church wiped out the Knights Templar, and it's got nothing to do with a guy running around a daggone abandoned campground or whatever he's doing.
machete
Stupid.
with a machete and a mask.
Dumb. So dumb. Anyways, people are so gullible. I should start selling virtual hamsters, dude. I'll make $1 million. Wait. Anyways,
Oh
so
man,
enough of that.
there's a lot of people making a lot of money off of
Yeah.
gullible people right now.
Yeah. So, anyways, remember these two names because these are the two guys. Guarantee they were both Freemasons. Porters
Here we go.
and Putnam. It's called the Porters and
Putnams, the
Putnam.
Porters and the Putnams.
Porters and the Putnams feud. Now this was a
Putnam.
this was a clan, right? A
There's
clan of
E
what?
and then an N.
Put,
Putnam.
Putnam. Okay, Putnam.
Because there's a city in Connecticut named Putnam.
Well, it's probably
It's a
from these
big
guys,
family.
right?
It was a big family.
So what you have here to give you the background on what really went down in here, you have the Porters and the Putnam. The Porters were in the sawmill business. The Putnams were in the agriculture business. There was about anywhere from 20 to 30, maybe 40 of each of them, right? Like these were large family bodies, right? The Porters mistakenly, which I don't think it was a mistake, rerouted their water for their sawmill and flooded,
Failed.
yeah, flooded the Putnams.
The dam failed.
Exactly right. The dam cracked and flooded the Putnams' crops, right? Basically cost
Right.
them a
Their
lot of
fields.
money. And so again, this is another thing why I tell you people that the Salem witch
Trials.
were a sham, and the people walking down the streets going burn her at the stake. They were so litigious. They didn't pick up arms and try to go kill these people. They took them to court. They started suing them.
Yep.
The Putnams actually filed a lawsuit against the
For
Porters.
damages.
Yeah, these people weren't pitchfork wielding, torch bearing, burn them at the stake. They were incredibly
These were
strictly
sophisticated
religious.
business people.
Exactly. And so they took them to court. Now, here's where the feud comes in. Here's where the feud comes in. And what Jay says, the Salem Witch Trials are 100% two things: a complete fakes, hoax, lie to get people fired up, right? And was 100% a political turf war for power and money. Two of the top families were going in there, and one family
Which
actually won.
included the church.
Yes, and they brought in the church. Now, so what happened is the following. The name I told you to remember at the very beginning, name Samuel Paris. He was a very strict religious person, almost radical, right?
When he got to Salem,
Yes,
he was a very
right.
religious.
The current head minister was stepping down. The Putnams were backing Paris. That was his guy. The porters said
How many had they gone through already?
Yeah, like 3, right? Right.
They'd already gone through 3 ministers, only staying 2 years
Yeah.
each.
These
Being
people are
like,
these people are hard to deal with.
I can't do this here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's guys. When
So
ministers say, I can't work with these people,
Yeah. It's time to change. So the
gotta sit up and
porters
take notice.
So the porters, I don't know if they had a guy they were backing on their own, but they definitely did not want Samuel Paris, right? And so what they did was
because the porters were more secular.
Yes.
They were from the city part.
Yeah, they were more towards the Salem town port area.
They
or
were
whatever
from
they
Salem town.
Yeah.
They were quote unquote outsiders.
Right. So what happened was the porters knew they were headed for something with the Putnams. So they basically started stacking the council with their guys, right? Putting their guys in there, right? And here's where like the Game of Thrones, when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die situation comes in. Mm-hmm. So the Putnams like, yo, they got us on that. What can we do? And what they did was start accusing them of witchcraft.
First, they found a patsy.
Yes.
Samuel Paris.
Samuel Paris, exactly right. So Samuel Paris.
Putnams put Samuel Paris in power.
Right.
And because let's look at Samuel Paris for a minute. Samuel Paris is from Barbados. Failed businessman from Barbados.
Who else was from Barbados,
Goes
Jay?
back to Salem. Tuba comes with him as his house servant, along with the girls and his wife.
So
the businesses, they lost everything in Barbados because of the war.
Pay attention, Enigmites. This is important.
Little wars.
This is important.
And so they lost everything and had to go back.
Right.
Well, when they got there, what was one of the major complaints that Samuel Paris had about his parsonage in Salem Village, Joe?
You guys were not serious enough. You're too loose, right? Leaning too liberal.
Or the name of the property is in the name of the parsonage and not the name of Samuel Paris.
So there you go.
That's what they were arguing about.
And here's where it gets good. So the porters started stacking the council. They did not want this guy to be the head honcho. The Putnam started accusing them of witchcraft, which was a automatic have to be defended in court, right?
Well,
had to.
Paris's household is where it all originated from.
And yeah, exactly. And just funny enough,
the Putnams were the ones who awarded him the parsonage in his name just previous to that.
And just funny enough is that
as a minister,
well,
he would know all of the things that would happen in witch trial.
Well, so Samuel Paris and Tuba known each other for a long time.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.